Outdoor Urban Homestead. I am Asia and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space in my backyard. Today I figured I would take you along with me as I start to prick out the lettuce seedlings, and I've already taken some of it out. I will show you again with another one. And we're going to go ahead and prick out and replant the cold hardy seedlings, which is bok choy, broccoli, hybrid cauliflower, and that's what it is. Oh, broccoli rabe is also in here. And someone mentioned that I maybe had a sprout in my chives. That's actually some type of brassica, and the seed just maybe got in here. I didn't get any chives yet, but I'm going to leave them because someone also mentioned that chives take a while to germinate. So I'm going to leave them. Now we are filling the tray with soil. I had started recording this and then realized I never turned on my cell phone to get a view of my hands. So that's why it looks like like I turned this on late, but I technically turned on the phone too late. Let's see. Which is also why I have lettuce seedlings that's already pricked out and on the table. But I'll show y'all, of course. That was my bad. These are trays that I used when I first started gardening. I had purchased them for seed starting. So some of them are a little beat up. Let's fill the tray. Push down. Make sure you have contact with the bottom, of course, because we over here bottom water. Do you bottom water your seedlings, or do you spray them, or do you just put water in them, water them like any other plant? Starting the seedlings in the tray like this allowed me to get a lot of seedlings in a small space. So if you are starting seeds in a small space, I do my peppers like this too. I think I did my tomatoes like that last year, just for the beginning starting, and to save you some space. It's a perfect way to start your seeds in those trays and just put dividers in them. So pricking out is basically just taking one seedling out of the bunch of seedlings we have and putting it into its own tray. I know some people wait until they have a certain amount of leaves. I do mine very early and I've never had a problem with it. Before the first real leaves even show up, I do them. Do this with pretty much all of my seed starts. Unless they're a seed start that doesn't like their roots to be disturbed, and then I don't do that. All right, and so right here, well, this one, it fell out. So you see right there, that's one little seedling. And we're gonna go ahead and just put a hole in here and drop that seedling, and you can take it pretty deep. Of course, don't cover up your middle leaf, but you can take it pretty deep and drop it in the hole. So just like that, we have another one. We're gonna take it and drop it in the hole. Seedlings are, not as tender as we'd like to think, but you do still have to use a little bit of that. One got bent, so we're not going to do that. Like I said, my soil is a little bit dry, so they're falling out a little bit easier, but I've done it wet or dry. And we have potted up the seed starts. But if you remember, I put dividers in between these lettuces. All you really have to do is pull it away from the divider, and you have your lettuce. Just like that. It may crumble a little because my soil is kind of dry. But you have your lettuce, and you can start to replant it to continue to grow. It's kind of the same thing with these seedlings. Just gonna pop them out. Just like that. And then crumble the soil. And you have each seedling. And for these, I'm gonna plant them in the for sale trays because I want them to have a good amount of space to continue to grow without having to pot them up. And I'm only gonna do 4 of each. Well, I'm only gonna do 4 of the cauliflower. I might do a little more broccoli. Same type thing. Make sure you have connection to the soil at the bottom. And grab a seedling, drop it in. Soil keeps falling. And you can plant it deep, like right up to the leaf. So the next thing we're gonna do is we have a few seeds that I had told you all last week I got. And they need to be winter sown. They're my herb seeds. And so I was watching Ashley Honeywood this morning, and she used these to winter sow in. And this would be so much easier for me today because I'm just kind of feeling like I don't feel like doing most of what I'm doing today, but I already put it off. And what I don't want to do is get weeks behind on my gardening. So I want to at least get things done in the week that they're written on. So I'm doing this today. So with these 3 seeds, I'm gonna try winter sowing them in the strawberry fruit containers and see how it works. So like I said, you can go check out her channel, Ashley Honeywood. I saw her video this morning and this is how she was doing it. And I was like, oh, this would save me so much time. Once I finished the lettuce and the cold hardy vegetables, I had to go and get a little more soil. So I'm just, you know, getting it moist. There's a lot of water in this because we won't be watering these like talking about. You shouldn't really have to once you do winter sowing. We're going to go ahead and add this to the container. So this should act like a greenhouse, just like the jugs do. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill up 3 because I'm doing 3 different types of seeds. I'm also gonna sow my shallots and my leeks the same way. And I'm gonna put them both in the same container. Should have brought something out here to dry my hands off. Clean my hands off with. All right, we're gonna start with the goldenrod. Just gonna sprinkle them across. When I Googled, said light age germination. So I'm not gonna cover these seeds up. I'm just gonna push them right down into the soil to make sure there's contact. But they do need a cold period, so that's why I'm winter sowing them. So just like that, goldenrod is done. We're gonna label it and close the top. So we're back inside, and the reason why you are going to get the view that you're going to get when I am planting out the medicinal herbs and the shallots and the onions, no, shallots and the leeks, it's because I forgot to press play on the camera. So I pressed play on my phone so you could get that view, but I forgot to press play on my camera. So hope it wasn't too boring. And anyway, the last thing I'm going to do today is start to chit some potatoes. These are not all of the potatoes that I plan to plant. My local feed and seed store, they won't get their seed potatoes in until like the end of February. And I'm actually hoping to plant out in March, or early crop in bags that I could bring in and out of the house. If you saw my video last week, you already know that. But anywho, this is what I'm going to plant. They are a blue potato. They were very pretty last year, and they taste okay. I'm not gonna say like they were a super tasty potato, like more than any other potato, but it's really just the novelty and the color. They stay purple when you cook them, and I think they are so pretty. So these are what I'm gonna plant, but I'm also gonna chit them. And what chitting means is you sit them in an area where they can get some light. and they will start to sprout, basically. I have potatoes that I grew last year, and so my other potatoes I'm gonna do that way, and I'm gonna get some potatoes from my local feed and seed store. I literally just sit them in a pan, a container, whatever, and I leave them sitting on top of my dryer. That's literally all I did last year to chip my potatoes. That's literally all I do. This is an old pan that I'm gonna leave sitting up here. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to press like, share, subscribe. Leave me a comment in the comment box below. Also, don't forget to visit me over on Instagram, where I post about the things going in the garden almost every day. Bye, y'all.